Hey guys, what's going on? This is Romi and JBear, and you are on the More Book Chat show. On today's episode, we decided to change things up just a little bit. It's summertime. We're gonna have our tank tops. We didn't plan this, by the way. Yeah. And just sit down and relax and have a nice conversation, or what I like to call an exploration of topic.
We're gonna fight.
Dun, dun, dun. Today's topic that we want to explore is, how do you know what is a good instructor? What do you look for? And yeah, let's go into it.
Let's start from the beginning and let's start breaking down what is a lesson or a good lesson.
Well, first off, the people in the lesson, I'm talking strictly beginners right now.
Okay.
Just strictly beginners, like maybe it's the intro complimentary class to a social, or like it's the very first studio class.
Let's bring that back a little more, just in general. What should you feel when you come out of a lesson?
You should feel excited, and you should feel that time went by very quickly.
And you should feel accomplished?
That can be a part of it, but I feel that being accomplished already goes with time went by quickly.
No, maybe, sure. I don't think so.
So the reason why I say that you should feel like time went by quickly is because if you're very involved in the lesson, if you really took in what the instructor has been saying or tried to teach you, then you're already in what I call flow.
Okay. Counter argument to that is if you're in the lesson with somebody that you really care about, somebody special, somebody you're trying to hit on, it's very possible that the lesson went by really quickly and you didn't learn anything. So
that's fine.
So my topic
that's absolutely
you
fine.
You should feel accomplished.
You should feel good right after the class, because for me the class is an experience.
Yes.
It's an experience.
It is.
And if it's a total beginner, if you're a total beginner taking a class, it should be actually like you're a tourist.
Yeah, no, it's
like
the
a resort.
It's the same way if you're a beginner, advanced. Like if you're dancing for 20 years, and you're taking a lesson and you're not getting any joy out of it, then why are you taking it?
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, you should be excited. You should have fun, regardless. So that's the first beginning point of everything. How do you know you're getting a good lesson? You're having fun, one way or another. Whether it is you have a very entertaining instructor, or you're learning something that's really cool that you're like, oh my god, I'm having fun learning this.
Yeah, I like that a lot. But then, the next part I want to say is, how do you differentiate learning something and just mimicking something?
Okay, break it down.
Man, I was like, damn it, Juan. So I always hear, I learned this move today, from certain people. I mean, it could be like the fanciest footwork or combo.
Yeah.
But what I'm noticing is that they just copied it. They have to get very specific to the timing. They're like, oh, it's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. And I'm like, you didn't learn that because you have to stick to the count.
And I get that. Like, if people come up to me and ask me, like, hey, can you teach me some cool moves? No, I can't.
Do you have this moment too where they're like, oh, dude, teach me something? And you're like, I don't know. What do you want to learn?
Yeah, I've actually had a few of those, and some people that came up to me and they're like, "Yeah, lead me. I want to teach. I want to learn something." I'm like, "Cool, I'll lead you, and I'll feel something." And then they ask me to teach them a move, and I can't because I want to focus on something that's a little bit behind that first. I want to focus on the fundamentals, the frame, the connection, the footwork, and the changing of the weight, and all that stuff. That's very important. That's what I focus the most whenever I'm teaching. That I don't necessarily want to teach you anything beyond that yet.
So how do you get them to get into that part of it then?
I can't.
They don't like it?
No.
They just think you're boring?
Usually.
Okay.
Or they think that I'm avoiding the question. They think that I'm not trying to teach them anything because I'm too cool.
Ah, yeah. I know that.
And that's not necessarily what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to focus on the society change or mentality of, hey, let's focus on the fundamentals first. And that's one thing that every instructor is going to always tell you, that beginners don't want to learn the beginner stuff. They want to learn the intermediate stuff. Intermediate dancers want to learn the advanced dance stuff. And then advanced dancers are the ones that are actually taking the beginner stuff because they understand the concept now. Oh wait, I should be working on the original stuff, the fundamentals, to get those in there first.
From what you just said, I feel that you're going away from the beginner class, from the a club setting. You're getting more into actual studio.
I'm going into but it's in general. Everybody does that, whether you're a beginner or you're advanced.
I don't think so.
Because advanced dancers don't ever take the lessons at the clubs.
Yeah, that's so true.
Because
I just don't.
Yeah, because we're too cool for that.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, because those lessons are tiered for beginners, and those lessons are usually meant to entertain more than anything else. So that people that have never danced before, that are all out there and making a fools of themselves or just having fun, because that's what it ultimately is having fun dancing. Let's go back to the topic that we started with, like how do you know you're getting a good lesson out of a class?
So I know I just intrinsically feel if I'm having a good class or a bad class, and the way I'm able to gauge or measure that is if I'm having a good time.
So that's it. Cut the video right there. How do you know you're having a good lesson? Is if you're having fun. That's it. The end of it.
No. Oh, I was gonna explain why. Like, what are the things I look at?
But it's a little more than that, obviously.
Yeah.
Because the feeling is there.
The feeling, yes. The fun, like you were saying. I guess fun. Yes, fun is important.
Fun.
But like, to me, when I have a good class, time went by very quickly. I'm like, oh crap, DJ is telling me to shut up. Like.
So you was an instructor, not you taking the lesson.
It's because it happens both ways. Because I feel I'm very confident.
So we're bragging now. Okay, let's do it.
It's not bragging. It's an observation. And so I've been able to create that mood where they're experiencing something that's fun, like you're saying, but they're also in flow.
As opposed to when you're teaching the class and you're like, damn, I still got 10 more minutes and I have nothing left to teach these kids.
Oh, that's also like another challenge. Like if like I've had those times where I'm like, I have no more material to teach you. But at the same time, I could just stick to exactly the same material, but give you a different thought-provoking way to do it. So an example is that hand toss, a two-hand turn, and then you go into a hand toss that a lot of people like to do, right? It's like a staple now. If you ever do a hand toss with a hand styling for the ladies, that's one of the first things they learn, right? If they learn that, and now it's like playing with timing or playing with, hey, you don't necessarily always have to go immediately as soon as you get there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. You could go 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold it. 1, 2, 3. Toss. You could have different energies. Do you want to give a big toss, a slow, quick toss, or you could have a fake toss? You toss it, you cancel it out, then you toss it again, and then I tell them like you play with each other, followers. You don't always have to go back to each other. You could be like, all right, my arm got tossed, and psych, I'm not coming back to you for a little bit. I'm gonna do my own thing and get back to you. So now instead of like, oh, I'm gonna teach you more moves or teach you to copy more moves, I'm gonna teach you how to actually dance and enjoy it more in a social aspect.
You're giving them puzzle pieces.
Yes.
And that's ultimately the way I feel like the best thing. Let's go all the way back again to like, how do you know you're taking a good lesson? And another question you should ask yourself, like, what if you're not getting a good lesson? How do you take advantage of it? Is you take the little bits and pieces that you can learn, because I remember when I started dancing, I used to take a bunch of different lessons from the classes, all the festivals and all the different things that I did, and I never learned 100% the whole pattern or everything that somebody was teaching me. Even though I learned it on the spot, I never used it again. But I took a little bit of that pattern and like, okay, I like this, I'm gonna use this in some other portion, and then I got like something from over here, like I'm gonna put it together with this, and it worked, and I started creating your own pattern, your own identity, your own dance style, because that's what you ultimately want to do. You don't want to duplicate what somebody else is doing. You want to make your own. You want to be your own dancer, so that when you're dancing with somebody, they're gonna be like, yeah, remember him? He had a very unique style. Yeah. Or her. So bringing it back to again, like how do you know you're taking a good lesson, or how do you know your instructor is giving you a good lesson?
If the instructor lets the students actually have a moment to experience the movements themselves, and not just experience it physically. Like, here, do this and do that. Also think about it. Give them time to reflect.
And let them fail.
Yes, that's very important. Like, don't correct it immediately. Let them have a couple of reps with each other, and let them have a couple of reps with other people too. Rotate them out. And then be like, hey, did you notice this? Followers, did you notice if your leader did this? Did this make sense for you? If it did not, how do you communicate that with your partner? Take a moment. Like, I've even done it. Take 15 seconds. Talk to your partner real quick. Did this lead and follow connection come out very cleanly? And I feel that helps a lot.
It can. Sometimes, however, it can be a little bit detrimental where the followers are taking a little too much charge and making the leaders feel bad about the fact that they're not leading correctly. I've seen that happen in some of my lessons before. You have a chance to let the people feel each other's lead and follow, because that's something that's very important too. And something that I always do with my lessons is I always tell people, you're not forced to switch partners, but I highly recommend it, because the energy is different from one dancer to another, and you need to learn that, because when it comes to what you're actually learning, you shouldn't be learning patterns. You should be learning how to lead a movement, and how you lead a movement is very different from each person that you're dancing with. And something we were talking about with somebody the other day is, what's your first pattern that you do?
Oh, you go to.
And when it comes to salsa dancing, the first thing I always do is a crossbody lead.
Yeah.
And if I can get the crossbody lead across and I feel exactly the way that I want it to feel, I know how many moves or how difficult of a level can I push this dancer to. And sometimes I may be wrong. I may push it a little bit too much in some things, and then I know how to bring it back and keep it so that the person is still having fun. That's something that doesn't get taught out. People don't tell you, hey, you gotta make sure you have different energy with different dancers. They just tell you this is how you lead it, and use your hands. And you don't lead with your hands. You lead with your frame, and that's something that needs to get put out there.
Well, I also want to jump on something you talked about, like how you said each person or partner is different. So I feel that for lessons, the instructors, you know how one day give you the time to practice on your own, here's the music and then try it out. To actually take that time to go to individual groups and give them individual specific advice, specific aha moments.
Yes.
And that's how you know you have a great instructor, because it's not just standard across the board.
So what are the topics? What are the most important things to think about when you're taking a lesson? How do you know you're having a good lesson and you're enjoying it? 1, you're having fun. 2,
time goes by very, very quickly.
And 3, you learn a little bit of a piece, even if you don't learn the whole thing, that you can use later on and you can put together into your new repertoire of dancing, and you can become, or you can create your own style and be a better dancer for it.
Boom.
And that's it for us, folks. Thank you again for watching another episode of More with Chats. Hope you guys enjoy it. Remember to like, follow us, share with your friends, and let the word be spread about how much you can have fun.
Let the word be
Let
spread.
there be known that you can have fun dancing, and that how do you enjoy the lesson. Thank you for watching, and stay classy, Sacramento.